Drink.
You know, sex on the beach is overrated.
The drink or the sex?
Both. Because, you know, if you tried to have sex in the pool, you know that's not easy.
Why?
Logistics.
What's so hard?
Because you're trying to go up the hill and you're getting resistance
You're trying to go
from the water that is within.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Because when you're in the pool, you are surrounded in the water.
Right.
Have you ever tried to put anything?
Watch it now.
Brian's going to send us a commercial.
Oh, you trying to move me on now, right? You tell me get engaged in the conversation. Then I start to get engaged, then you want me to stop talking. All right, next topic.
I was learning things.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, these are things you already know that you maybe don't know that you know because you haven't done it for a long time.
Oh. Or maybe never did it.
I don't believe that.
A pool?
If you've never done any of these things that are in my brain right now.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So there's been a lot of speculation on The View being canceled. And we can chalk it up to the fact that, you know, their break was unplanned and that they used a 3-month-old writer's strike as an excuse. And of course, you know, that's been enough to placate and pacify the truly deranged people that really could be the only people truly watching The View and hoping The View does come back. But here are the fine ladies of The View themselves explaining why they don't need writers.
We want to start with an explanation of why we're still working when there is a SAG-AFTRA strike. Like the soap operas and game shows and news shows, we work under a different kind of contract, which is called the network code, which means that we are allowed to continue on as we're not actors at the table acting The View.
So I completely disagree. You know, this stuff is so out there, so unhinged. They almost have to be acting. But anyway, so if the strike is a bogus reason, maybe we're not crazy if we think that the fact that ratings are hurting and the View cast is overpaid at a time where ABC is literally bleeding money from everywhere could mean that it may not come back, or that this unplanned break is it. You know, I mean, more likely, you know, not everyone will come back. You know, this is, after all, you know, when they usually get rid of whatever token conservative may have been putting up too much of a fight, you know, during their daily public lashings, of course. But my money is on Whoopi not coming back. And it's all because she dared talk about getting laid in the pool on TV. No one, I don't care how much you love Whoopi or how deranged a leftist you really are in general. No one wants to see that. No one wants to hear that. I promise you. But anyway, this got me thinking, and it got me digging through the archives, and I had to show you, you know, what it is that these people really think. Take a look at this.
I'm hoping Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General, his wife. Because Joe Biden's wife, because she, you know, he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
I thought she was a doctor and
PhD.
Yeah, I
could be wrong.
Maybe
I thought she was.
Yeah, I think she's a teacher, but, you know.
I almost hate to start with this, man. This is almost funny, you know what I mean? But just look at their faces. This is what happens when one crazy leftist says something foolish around other leftists. You know, they don't know how to react. They don't know how to correct each other without sending someone into some, you know, microaggression-induced episode. So they just sit around. Like, you know, I'm not really sure. Maybe she's a teacher, maybe a teacher, a doctor. I mean, that's like the same thing. Amazing doctor at that, you know, I mean, same thing. Freaking awesome. But, you know, not as awesome as the fairness that they show to the family members of politicians. Have a look at this. But before we do, guys, thank you so much to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments. We appreciate the support, guys. We're growing fast, and it's because of you. And if you haven't already, please help us with the algorithm. Like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the Common Sense Garage. And every time you do, a leftist loses their wings. And if enough people share, maybe The View doesn't come back. I don't know.
He's tied to Joe Biden while Joe Biden was working in the White House. He has ties to Brennan, who's been leading the cabal on Trump.
You are making money from the hotel based on the presidency.
We're in the hotel business.
All right,
It's nothing like we're giving back.
That's not a
That's
crime.
what we've
Take a
done.
breath.
All right,
My point is,
they have a duty and obligation to honor their business
unlike Hunter
contracts.
Biden, we didn't become international businessmen
let's-
magically
let's-
when we got in office.
Listen,
All right,
don't
and that's
do
something
that.
that no one talks about.
Don't do that.
So this is actually a pretty awesome exchange. And kudos to them for even going on that mess. I mean, at least they're consistent with the way that they treat conservatives. And speaking of consistency, nothing I don't think really illustrates it quite like this. First of all, man, that's just horrific. I mean, President Obama made so many dramatic mistakes. It's hard to even remember them all. But he was, the one mourning Castro, which is terrible, unforgivable. And let me know in the comments, guys, if you can even believe that the people who lost their minds over an attempt at diplomacy in North Korea applauded Obama for eulogizing a ruthless freaking dictator. It's insane. But I promise, this was about consistency, and here she is just a few years later.
Bernie Sanders is already a big target for his rivals as the front-running candidate, but he just left himself wide open for doubling down on his praise for Cuban leader Fidel Castro. Take a look.
You know what? I think teaching people to read and write is a good thing. I have been extremely consistent and critical of all authoritarian regimes all over the world. The truth is the truth. And that's what happened in the first years of the Castro regime.
So, what is he saying?
To do well in Florida, a swing state, for that Latino contingent. I mean, they are not going to forgive him for this position.
It's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
There is nothing groovy about a dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
It's just nothing good about a dictatorship.
But doesn't it-
For journalists, for anybody, I mean, wherever it is in the world, we bitched at people for getting next to people who were saying, oh, it's not so bad. It is bad.
American voters don't
doesn't
understand
matter.
nuance. They
Yes,
hear
they do.
communism and go crazy.
There's no way around that. This is as bad as who's saying there were good people on
Yep.
both sides.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. There's no way to get.
I don't agree.
Oh, I do. Once you start saying, well, Hitler wasn't so bad because
But he didn't say that.
But no, he didn't say that. But to a Cuban person,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's just as bad.
I agree.
It's
Cuban
just as
refugees
bad.
that came to
Cuban
this country
refugees
seeking
who
freedom.
lost everything in Cuba because of Castro. Yeah, it's as bad.
So amazing how different her opinions are when they involve the great Barack Obama. And just look at Joy's face here. She doesn't want to say a word. I'm sure she loved Fidel, probably met him numerous times, and probably despises any type of Latin person that she thinks would vote for a Republican. At least she's smart enough to keep her mouth shut every so often. Very, very rarely, but in this moment. And this is about as much as I can handle of this, guys. I think what we've shown are some reasons why the show absolutely should be canceled. But of course, there are reasons that it 100% will not be. But if it's up to me, guys, I vote keep it on, actually, because we don't want to silence the crazies on the other side. I think we need to make sure that they have a nice, comfy place to be themselves and keep reminding us of exactly what it is they actually think. Plus, if we get rid of The View, Joy Reid's ratings will go insane, and we cannot have that. No one wants that. Anyway, guys, that's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.